Guys, my name is nonhlanzekomasikane and welcome back to my channel. Please do subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like, comment, share, all that good stuff, and tell your friends to tell their friends. Yes, if you haven't yet subscribed and you are a new viewer, please do subscribe to support me. And yeah, your support means everything to me. Right, so today I am going to talk about how it feels to have a disabled parent. My mom had a stroke in 2014 and she was pronounced or declared, she was declared disabled. I didn't even know, guys, like the whole process of being declared disabled is hectic, I didn't know that you actually get a letter that tells you that, oh, okay, now you are disabled, blah 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 blah. Even though I wasn't there when that happened, but my mom like told me about it when she came back from hospital, and I thought to myself, that is a very like messed up way that, well, I think it's a very messed up way, as if you're getting a letter of your life is over type of thing. I don't know, I just don't understand the whole thing of a declaration or a formal, like, I don't get it. And I think I wish there was another way. Obviously, at the facility, there were psychologists, social workers that assisted through the process, but the whole letter thing still gets me. Anyway, the first thing that I wanted to mention, I actually wrote on my notepad because I didn't want to forget. I'm just gonna use this notepad for guidelines. I don't want to use the notes that I put there. So the first thing that before I get into the points, the first thing that I noted when I was doing research on this video, on this type of video, because I always do research before I form content, because I always want to see what is there and what can I provide that is different, So I was just looking, and majority of the videos that I found were videos where disabled parents, parents with disabilities rather, let me put it that way, where they share their experiences on how it feels to raise kids having disabilities, themselves having disabilities, and I just wanted a perspective of a child, of how a child feels when they have a disabled parent, Number one, I think the first thing is we love our parents. We love our parents irregardless. Let me just say me. Like, I love my mom wholeheartedly, and to me, she is not any different from any mother that is living in this earth. To me, she is a good mom, a perfect mom, irregardless of her disabilities, and I have respect for her, irregardless of her disabilities. But I think there are certain things that society does, and I feel like that has to be a conversation. The first thing that I noted, as soon as my mom came back from hospital in 2014, was the fact that the world is not that accommodating of people with disabilities. There may be signs in places, for example, like banks. My mouth is so dry and the Vaseline is so far. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna continue. So the first thing that I want to talk about is how the world is not so accommodating of people with disabilities. the reason why I say that is because though there are signs in public places like banks, what other public place, parking, toilets, for example, let me start with toilets. People with no disabilities, you find them sometimes using the toilet for disabled individuals, and you as a child that is with a parent that has disabilities kind of have to awkwardly wait for them to finish, yet knowing very well that they could have easily used the other toilet. Another thing is in banks, I guess it's not necessarily facilities, but let me not say it's not necessarily facilities, because in banks I feel like they could do more, like in making sure that when a person with disabilities walks in, they make sure that they assist them in the sense that they get whatever they need and they don't have to join the line. But instead, as the child, it is your responsibility to talk to people. It is yours. As soon as you walk into a bank, it's your responsibility to talk to the security guard. As the child, you have to talk to the security guard and explain that because you are, whereas they can physically, visually see that your parent has disabilities, you have to explain to them that you were the person that has disabilities and they cannot stand for a long time, so can they please help her skip the line. And then you still gonna have to speak to the people that are at the line, because people won't just let you get through. They simply feel like, most of the times when I'm with my mom, the people mostly feel like she needs to sit down, get a chair, sit down, and then I have to join the line. But they actually don't understand that my mom can't even sit for a long time. That on its own can make her feet get swollen, can make her extremely exhausted. You know, she can't sit for a long period of time. So you have to clarify that to the people at the bank, because they will pretty much murder you with their eyes. In the beginning, I think that was hard for me, but now I really don't care. People can murder me with their eyes for all they want. They can look at me in any way. If I want my mom to get through at the bank, I do what I need to get done. I speak to whoever I need to speak to. I am firm about it. That is the thing that you have to learn when your parent is disabled, because if you do not stand up for your parent, if you do not stand your ground, if you don't do whatever you need to do to get through lines, you will always be expected to stand for your parent. And people don't understand that it's not that you, like, the person that you are with is the one that needs assistance, not you. So you are just there accompanying your parent. So people don't get that a lot. You have to explain to them continuously. I'm gonna be like dabbing my face. I'm so sorry if that is distracting, but I feel so sweaty. Anyway, the second point that I have is people stay. People will stay, and you have to find ways to embrace it. Try your best, no matter how hard it is, as the child, to make your parent feel accepted, to make your parent feel as normal as they can. For me, the one thing that I used to do, let's say we're in a line and everyone is like staring, I would just take pictures with my mom and make her feel good about herself and be like, smile, tombo, boo, girl, hype her up, Make her feel loved and cared for. Make her feel as normal as she can feel, or he if it's your father, or aunt or whatever, a guardian, whatever. Just make them feel as normal as you can. Try your best no matter what they say, because I remember my mom used to say a lot. She would just say, can you see that they're staring? And you just have to distract them and be like, don't, girl, don't bother yourself, move on with your life. It is what it is. They're looking at you because you're hot. Like, try and be the positive voice for your parent. Try your best to be strong. I'm not saying that be strong when you can't be strong. No, obviously when you can't be strong, break when you need to, cry when you need to, because carrying load and being strong even when you feel like you can't be strong is not healthy at all, period. The third pointer that I have is the transition process of your parent moving from able to disabled. Okay, this is specifically for someone that has excuse me someone that has a parent that wasn't disabled and became disabled. There's like a transition process that takes years. For the first year, the first few months, your parent is going to be someone that is completely different. Your parent will be filled with so much anger. Your parent will be filled with just a lot of negative emotions, because they are moving from a process of no longer being able to do things for themselves to a process where they have to be assisted with almost everything. And you as the child, you have to be able to be supportive, but also while being supportive, also go through the process as well. Be present in the process, accept what your life will be now, and try your best to make sure that your parent is okay, just try your best. Obviously, don't give and give and give and end up being empty. Now it makes sure that you are okay. But the main thing about this phase is you accepting. You have to accept that the things that your parents used to be able to do for you will no longer be able to. I remember, for example, with me, there was a point where it was so hard for me to accept that my mom will no longer be able to do my hair. I don't want to cry, but it was hard to accept, because I grew up and like my mom used to always be the one that does my hair all the time. Not all the time, but she used to be the one that does my hair half the time, and it used to grow a lot whenever she touches it. So I had to sort of find a way to accept that, oh, okay, that will no longer happen. But at the same time, in accepting that, I was so appreciative of the fact that she's alive, because the way the situation was, y'all, I didn't even expect my mom to survive. So that I don't even understand. I don't even understand why I'm crying. But y'all, there's a lot of things that you have to accept as the child, and at the same time there's a lot of change that you have to accept about your parent. Yeah, to be honest, I think my mom, as much as like it wasn't easy to accept that she's now disabled, I think because at the first time when she arrived in a wheelchair, and then she moved from that to a stick. So right now she uses a stick to get around, and that on its own is, I see so much faithfulness and so much grace from God in that transition. So you not only learn a lot about your parents, get close with your parents, have such a strong bond with your parents, but you also see Christ in it, and you learn a lot. This process will require you to have a lot of patience. And I remember when she arrived from hospital, I was trying so hard to find ways to cope with the situation. So I remember this one thought in my head. I thought to myself, if my mom was able to raise me, teach me how to crawl, bathe me, then surely I can do that for her. So from that moment onwards, I took that step to accept the situation and just be there as much as I can, be there and support her continuously. Anyway, enough with the crying. I didn't even bring tissues because I didn't think I was gonna cry. This is ridiculous. Why are you crying? Okay, so now we're going to the fourth point. The fourth point that I have is people always feel sorry for you. People always feel sorry for you. That, I don't know if it's a fact. I don't know if I should say it's a fact, but I think it is. People always feel sorry for you. Always. Shame. Shame when you're in public places. Shame. Like, sometimes I even see that people are saying shame even with their eyes. Like, they don't even have to say anything out loud. Whenever because I always dress up. Like, I'm that girl that shows up whenever I'm in public places. I really love clothes, so I always make sure that I look good. So whenever I'm in public places, people are always so shocked that, oh, and her mom has disabilities. I don't know why it shocks them, honestly. I really don't. But anyway, that's just how our society is. Just how society finds it hard to accept interracial relationships. Just a lot of things that they find odd, they find hard to accept. And that's just how society is. You're gonna have to find a way to maneuver around that and not let it affect you at all. Respect your parents, because another thing that happens with society, when they feel sorry for you, they sort of don't understand that they show less respect for your parents in a way. And I think you should try your best as the child to just always show respect to your parents. Like, for me, a practical example when it comes to that, I always ask my mom what she wants. I always ask her that. Whether we at our, let's just continue with the bank example again. If there's steps and there's like an area for a wheelchair, because sometimes we take her wheelchair to places in case she needs it, I always ask her what she wants, because I always wanted to feel like she is respected and she has an opinion. And she always does have an opinion. In fact, she's actually firmer in her opinions now. And yeah, she will specifically specify, not specifically, she will specify exactly what she wants, how she wants it. And I do exactly that. Even with outfits, it's the same situation. You let her pick what she wants. Don't now want to decide on everything and anything just because your parent can't, I don't know, wear the clothing anymore. Now you feel like you have to pick it for them. No, they can still decide what they want to wear, and then you can assist them. My mom right now, she can wear her own clothing, so I don't even need to assist her. She picks out her own outfit now and she gets dressed. Back then that wasn't the case. I would help her with picking the outfits, but I'd have to also assist her getting dressed. So it's a transition, it's a long process. It takes years of healing, years of patience. Yeah, that's what I can say so far. I think I'm gonna record the rest tomorrow because I'm exhausted. This whole thing, I didn't realize how exhausting it would be. But yeah. 10 years later, records the last part of the video. Okay, it's not 10 years, but like, it's been a couple of days. A couple of days of me watching the video and actually thinking if I actually do have a last pointer of what I was saying. And I think I don't for now. I am satisfied with all that I've said. If you guys have any questions, please make sure to spam my comment section, and I definitely don't mind clarifying certain things or even making a part 2 if you guys want a part 2 from me. Or send me a private message on Instagram, which is nzeko_masikane. I will put that in my description box. So yeah, I've had time to think about it and watch, and I'm actually realizing that I have nothing else to add to what I've said. Yeah, I look up a lot when I talk. I didn't realize it until I watched the video like 10 times. But yeah, this is it. I have to be myself, and if the looking up is part of me, then it is what it is. Thank you so much guys for watching. I appreciate it. Please make sure to subscribe, like, and like I've said from the beginning, please don't forget to do that. And then lastly, stay tuned. I apologize for the inconsistency, but I will try my utmost best to make sure that I am more consistent this year. Love you guys.